What's it been like for you this season, with especially the relationship with your father? You both have gone different extremes, it seems, from the beginning of the season to where the season is.
Well, I mean, I really like that, now we're kind of the group's been like separated from each other. And I think that what that allows is it gives a freedom to really explore each of the individual stories. And so now that, Giancarlo and myself were away from the group, and the bombs have dropped, and we're searching for more. And we get to really explore that complicated relationship more. It's an intense father-son relationship, I guess. But it's really nice. I love playing with him, especially with it's Giancarlo Esposito. There's so much you can learn from him as an actor, and I'm always, for me, it's a challenge. I want to make a mistake. I really, sometimes. And physically, I just want to. He's always trying to sun me, so I really want to hurt him. I want to get him.
What about the conflict at the end of the season? The relationship between your character and Charlie was very much on the rocks.
Yeah.
So, what do you know about the upcoming season, where that's going?
It's a good question. I think that look, they're separated now, so there's going to be a little bit more to explore within the storylines in itself. But I wouldn't. Right now, we're kind of away from each other, and that's life in a way, which I think is really cool, because it's not like the guy doesn't really always stay. Superman doesn't stay with Lois Lane throughout the whole process. There's all these individual stories, and in order to really get into their individual stories, they have to separate a bit. So it's good. It gives some breathing room, but I think it's going to come back to that at some point.
Your character actually hasn't had much time in his life with powers, and now for the first time, powers on. How is he reacting to a world where electricity actually is easily available? In the big print, not with the dot.
Well, I think that one of the great things that Neville has taught his son is to adapt. And there's nothing. Especially if you weren't aware of power, so that when power comes back on, it's foreign to you. But it's not like you don't really have anything to compare it to. Where I can imagine Neville and Miles and Rachel, and they can really compare this time to that time. And maybe they say, that was better than now. It's not really the same anymore. So for my character, it's just kind of going with the flow.
His character kind of really, you started, no one really knew who you were, they didn't know what side you were on.
I didn't know either.
And you didn't know what side you were on. So I know they kind of tell you that nothing is really secretive when it starts. So how was it to kind of really go through the season and knowing who your character was?
It's tough. It's not easy. You want to know, I think, and that's the great thing with film, is that you know the story from beginning to end, and so you can really play out that character, and you know what your intention is, what you're going for, and how everything's going to unfold. But at a certain point, I just had to give it up and just say, okay, who is this guy, and what's his core? And I think that even though you saw him betray Charlie and then betray his father, you could see that he was really trying to do the right thing. He wouldn't kill Charlie because that was wrong. And besides, he liked the girl, so you got to take care of the girl. But then his father would give him an order, and he would follow through with it because that's the right thing to do. Like in the military, and also that's his dad. But then you get to see him stand up for himself a bit more and be like, I'm going to disobey you because I really don't agree with you. So I think now going into the second season, there's a little bit more acceptance. He knows who his dad is, and it's not, he's not the best guy in the world, but that's who he has. That's his father, and so he has to accept it and move on.
If you're going towards the end of the second season, as you're going to second season, where would you like to see your character by the end of this season?
I would love to see the Jason militia. I think Jason starts his own militia, has a huge war with his dad. Jason, overtakes his father. He starts taking over the United States. And he gets the girl.
If I can sneak one in, I really stuck with this show. I had trouble hooking it at first, but then all the wheels aligned. By mid-season, and I go, oop, I think they found the show. Did you guys sense that working on it too?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I think as actors, you can feel it just sort of going this way or that way and this way. And most of the time, not all the time, there are some shows that just kind of hit it from day one, and those are like special. You just cannot. Breaking Bad, that's an incredible show. But I think that there was so much on Revolution from the beginning, and also being a part of the network series, that the network was trying to find the ways. Like what is this really? Like who are we really following? And you have all these characters, so you're listening to the criticism. You're listening to the critics. You're listening to the fan base. So as actors, we can feel them, and then we could feel like the legs, the foundation being settled in. And I think now we feel good. We feel we're excited to be in Texas. We're excited to start this new series and really take it to a higher level.
I'd say the last 6 or 7 episodes were must-see TV. It was like every week we had to go. I had this on. I had to see it. That's great. It was really, you guys, you found your groove. And bringing the power back, that was it. That was like the key MacGuffin, right? If you want to call it that.
That's done. It's over. That was the
whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like, where's the, now it's back. It's like, it's almost like it gives you a clean slate.
Yeah. Well, now it's back, and now you're going to find out, or now the question is, why was it turned off?
Right.
And so that is, that's going to lead into, those are all bigger questions, and we'll see how the characters deal with it.
Real quick, how far into season 2 have you guys already shot?
We're on the second episode.
And how far ahead have you gotten Doreen yourself?
For me?
Yeah.
Second episode.
So the secrecy
Some things
still
don't change.
secrecy remains consistent factor.
Yeah. I try to get it out of the producers a bit, and I'll listen to words. They'll be like, "You're dragged." I'm like, "Drag? That's interesting," because that would imply that it's against my will. So who's dragged? And they're like, "Oh no."